filled with wonder, a land rich in culture.
India,
a name associated with magic, mystic, and ancient stories.
as the famous Mark Twain once wrote, India is the cradle of human race.
The birthplace of human speech, the mother of history.
The grandmother of legend.
India is a place where everyone feels at home. It's a place where everyone is welcomed with open arms. A place where you feel oneness with people, with nature, with the world. 29 states, over 16,000 languages, 6,000 tribes, 6 religions, 6 ethnic groups, and just one country. That for you, my friend, is my country, your country, and our country, India. Our food is hot. Our country is hot. Our women are hot. The men are lucky. The beauty of India is its diversity.
A blend of traditions and technology, ancient deep-rooted history, and fast-paced growth. A place where above all else, people matter. Our hearts are Indian and we are feelers. India is home, it is an identity. India is an emotion.
Incredible India, as we say it, is rich in its history, geographical expansions, and culture. Culture is a myriad expressions of India's heritage and traditions. India has a rich culture of dance, art, cinema, music, and literature. We gave the world the romance of Bollywood films and the music of Pandit Ravi Shankar and A.R. Rahman.
No matter who we are, which country we are from, for their traditions. Being in a global institution like KTH allows us to not only spread our wonderful culture, but also to learn about and from other cultures from all over the world.
In today's day and age, where there is a lot of global integration, we believe that cultural integration should also play a big role, which is exactly why Flavors was started a year ago, to facilitate global cultural interaction in our own university.
We love celebrating different cultures, festivals, and traditions. In India, we have many different festivities all year round. To name a few, we have Sankranti, Eid, Holi, Christmas, and Diwali, the festival of lights.
Diwali is the Hindu festival of lights celebrated every year in autumn all over India. It is one of the most popular festivals of Hinduism. It spiritually signifies the victory of light over darkness, good over evil, knowledge over ignorance, and hope over despair. Its celebration includes millions of light shining over housetops, outside doors and windows, around temples, and other buildings in the communities and countries where it is observed.
So without any further ado, we welcome you all to India Day and Diwali 2017. To facilitate this event, we're honored to have among us the Indian Ambassador, Ms. Monica Kapil-Mota. She assumed charge as the Ambassador of India to Sweden and Latvia on 11th November 2016. She served as the Ambassador of India to Poland and Lithuania from July 2011 to January 2015. Prior to that, she served as the Director of the Nehru Center and Ministry Culture at the High Commission of India to the United Kingdoms from 2006 to 2011. In the Ministry of External Affairs, she served in many different positions, including Joint Secretary, Southern Division, Director, Pakistan, Director, Gulf, Director, External Publicity, and Deputy Spokesperson, Director, United Nations. She's also served at the Indian embassies in France, Nepal, and Thailand, and in the permanent delegation of India to UNESCO.
We would like to invite our ambassador to the stage for lighting of the lamp and to share a few words with us. Please, ma'am.
श्रीगणनाथ सिन्दूरवर्ण करुणासागर करिवदन लम्बोदर लकुमिकरा अम्बरीश
बासुतामरविनुतलम्बो दरलकुमिकरा उदधि निवास उरगशयना उन्नतोन्नतमहिमा यदुकुलोत्तमयज्ञरक्षक अग्नशिक्षक राम नाम राम नाम राम नाम.
Namaskar. Good evening. I must say that I'm absolutely overwhelmed to be here this evening for so many reasons. One is to learn that there are 500 Indian students at the KTH, which is, I think, a remarkable number and a remarkable achievement. We know that Indian students are doing brilliantly across the world in various educational institutions, and it's so heartening to know that one of them exists in Sweden, where I am serving. It's really a great achievement for all of you. It's a great achievement for India. And I'm sure it is also an extremely important human link between our two countries, Sweden and India. Because you are, each one of you, the young ambassador of your country here in Sweden. I may serve as a bird of passage. I will come, I will go, ambassadors will come, ambassadors will go. But each one of you is not only a student here, but you're flying the flag of your country here in Sweden. Many of you will stay back, perhaps find employment, or stay connected with Sweden in one way or the other, in terms of perhaps a job opportunity, or in terms of all the friendships, the lifelong friendships that you develop. Other linkages that you would have, human linkages, business linkages, cultural linkages. So it's actually overwhelming for me to be here and to meet with all of you and to be part of this absolutely fantastic celebration today of an India Day and Diwali. So may I first and foremost wish all of you a very happy Diwali and a prosperous, peaceful New Year to come, because as you know, for many of us in India, Diwali is the beginning of the new year, as per the Hindu calendar. So this is for us the start of a new year, and a start of a new year always signifies new challenges, new opportunities, new decisions, and a lot of new happenings and new tidings in life. So a very happy new year to all of you. The three lovely young ladies who spoke about India were very impressive, and they also talked about Diwali and how it is a festival of lights, and the epic that goes behind Diwali, of course, is through the Ramayana and the story of Lord Vishnu in his human incarnation of Rama, and his story, which is depicted in the epic Ramayana, and the homecoming. The homecoming is what Diwali signifies. Diwali is a festival of lights indeed, and a triumph of light over darkness. And darkness here signifies ignorance. It signifies arrogance. It signifies so many things that we need to set aside. And light, of course, we all understand what light signifies. But we also must look at the light within. And I always tell this to all my friends, that Diwali goes way beyond just being a festival of lights and a triumph of light over ignorance. If only we were to try and search for the divine light within us. That is exactly the real quest that each one of us has in life. I think the purpose of our life. And so it's very important to try and see how that light that we talk about, the Diwali light, will help us conquer the ignorance within, and how we will find the divine light within. So that's a very important aspect I thought I would share with you. There's one thing that I thought I would share in terms of my a very special personal experience. When I came here, I was told that, Sweden is very cold and dark November onwards, and it's exactly a year ago that I arrived here. This is my first Diwali, but I had arrived here around the 11th or 12th of November last year, so I'm completing exactly 1 year. And I was told, it's cold, it's dark, and it's not a very good time to be coming into Sweden. But when we were children, our parents taught us that darkness is beautiful. Darkness is not necessarily evil. Darkness is not necessarily something negative. In fact, darkness is creative. I'll give you an example. It is in the darkness of a mother's womb that the fetus grows. And that's creative, isn't it? That's growth. That's life. The beginning of life is from darkness. When you sow a seed in the dark of the soil and the seed starts sprouting, it draws from the darkness around it, and it's pitch dark in the soil beneath. And yet that's creativity, that's life. So I think that darkness is not necessarily a negative concept. We must shun that thought completely. And I think you must share this with your Swedish friends also, that darkness is very, very creative. Darkness can be very beautiful. In fact, in India, we believe that the best time to meditate is at 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock early morning when it's pitch dark. The darkest hour before dawn is when we pray, when we meditate, because that is the most constructive, the most creative, the most productive time of the day. So I thought I would share this thought with you about dark and light, because it is an interesting thought that we can actually, this is a cultural dialogue that we can have between India and Sweden about dark and light. And that dark is not necessarily bad, it's not necessarily evil. It could be a rather, perhaps an Anglo-Saxon Christian concept that darkness is associated with evil, but not so in our culture. For us, light and dark are a cycle, and each is beautiful. So it's light, it's dark, it's light, it's dark, and both are lovely, both are creative, both are beautiful. That's the cycle of life. Apart from that, as I said, I'm very proud to know that all of you lovely, young, brilliant Indian students are doing so well here at KTH. Tomorrow, all of you are going to be in very important positions. You have science careers, you may go into management, you may be heading very big corporate companies, you may be having your own startups tomorrow, you may actually go into some very interesting collaborations, business collaborations with Swedish counterparts. I wish all of you every luck, every success, every happiness in your endeavor in the future. And do remember, this is your alma mater. You have a huge connection with Sweden. So please try and build a sweet, happy, and friendly relationship with this lovely country that you're in. It's a country which is one of the most innovative countries in the world. It's a country which tops the global table on so many things, technologies, in terms of gender parity, in terms of healthcare systems, the very strong engineering foundation that this country has, and so many things that Sweden leads the world in. And not just that, the Swedish people, the fact that whatever interaction I have had over the last 1 year has been so extremely interesting. It's a revelation. Straightforward people who are not duplicitous, people who are not crafty, people who are who have very high level of integrity, honesty, who are upright. And that's a tremendous quality for all of us to inculcate. So isn't it a wonderful thing for us to be learning from each other? We spoke about Indian culture that we're telling the Swedes about, but let's also learn and imbibe from Swedish culture and Swedish way of life and try and see how we can be natural partners, Sweden and India, people of Sweden and the people of India, and how we can take this forward into the future and build long-lasting friendships and partnerships between our two peoples. So that's the only thing I thought I would share with you. I've spoken for long enough, and I'm sure you have a lovely cultural event waiting for you. So many presentations that are coming up. I want to thank Flavors for putting up this wonderful evening. I want to thank all the members of faculty, all the students who are present here, the entire team who have worked very hard to make this evening possible. Please stay connected with the embassy. Register yourselves if you haven't, and we know we are connected with Flavors, but also to remind you, this is the 70th year of India's independence. We are having a flag hoisting ceremony on 26th of January. Do come, join us, feel proud, flying your flag. Thank you.
Now I would like to call the President of Flavors to hand over the bouquet to